Money given by British taxpayers to prevent starvation in Africa being used to support a repressive regime there. Britain is the second largest giver of aid to Ethiopia, where the government there is accused of a concerted crackdown on opposition supporters, politicians and journalists. I'm going to ask the International Development Secretary how he's allowed it to happen shortly. First, a reminder of how this programme and the Bureau of Investigative Journalism revealed the use of aid to repress dissent in that country. Angus Stickler's the reporter.
Undercover in the Horn of Africa, posing as tourists, Newsnight and the Bureau of Investigative Journalism travelled to Ethiopia to look into mounting allegations of human rights abuses. We revealed evidence of children dying of hunger. Aid used as a weapon of oppression to starve the opposition into submission. 20 years of mass arrests, extrajudicial killings and rape.
They used to beat me. They used to do whatever they like. And then they started raping me.
$3 billion in long-term development aid flows into Ethiopia every year despite these consistent and credible allegations, all denied by the Ethiopian government. But following our investigation, members of the Ethiopian diaspora have told Newsnight that there's been a concerted government backlash.
Yes, sadly, there has been a crackdown by the security forces on people who are suspected to have cooperated with the program. We certainly have got reports that some people have been arrested, some people have been questioned by the security forces, and some people have left the area in fear of what would follow.
And the crackdown has widened. In the last 2 months, at least 40 opposition politicians, their supporters and journalists have been arrested by the security services. Amnesty International researchers were expelled from the country last month.
I've heard from political opposition groups that there's really increased tension now amongst the political opposition. Civil society activists have said that the situation is rapidly deteriorating, to use their words. Journalists are more afraid even than they were before. And we're talking about a country where there's a significant climate of fear. All of those groups are already operating in a climate of fear.
And as our report revealed last month, allegations of torture in prisons are rife.
I have never seen such degradation of a human being.
The most serious allegations emerge from here, the Makalawi prison in Addis Ababa. The Ethiopian Human Rights Commission reported that there is no evidence to suggest cruel, inhumane or degrading treatment in Ethiopian prisons. Many have questioned its independence.
If really they wanted the Human Rights Commission to work justly, legally, I think there is a lot to be said. But these are cadres who are appointed to the Commission. They are puppets, absolute puppets.
Last year, the UK gave the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission £230,000.
Generation of people are, beaten. Some of them even lost their lives there. And we challenge a lot of diplomats, including British diplomats, to get access to what is going on.
And what is their response?
Well, they say the government said this is interference, the government said that, the government said this. More of apologetic, not really pressing hard to get what is going on.
Despite the Ethiopian government's emphatic denials, more evidence has emerged. US diplomatic cables released by WikiLeaks detailed widespread, systemic and wanton human rights abuses over the years. Hangings, branding people, gang rape, arbitrary detentions and killings. We also investigated allegations that aid was being used as a tool of oppression. People in areas loyal to the opposition denied aid, fertiliser and seed. Allegations previously brought to the attention of the international community.
The position of the donor community is dismissive. They think, I mean, they always want to dismiss it as an isolated, incident when we present them with some proof, and we challenge them to go down and check it out for themselves. They don't do it.
And again, the US diplomatic cables acknowledge serious problems. They read, recent allegations of the politicisation of foreign assistance to Ethiopia, including humanitarian food aid, are consistent with reports by non-governmental organisations, opposition political parties, the media and members of the international donor community. Critics say there is an overwhelming body of evidence and that they are losing faith.
I've given up on the West. I do not believe that the West is interested in democracy, the rule of law, and human rights in the third world.
Human rights and democracy are central to development. A dilemma for the West, how to engage with a government seemingly intent on crushing dissent.